Take my hand so we can run away. Save our problems for another day. Yeah, I know in the end it'll be okay. It's you and me, girl, there's no other way.
Guys, welcome to my channel. I have some very exciting news. Today, I'm officially celebrating my 2-year running anniversary. Some of you probably didn't even know that I've only been running for 2 years, but that's the truth. I've only been running for 2 years, and I'm very proud of myself of what I have accomplished in those 2 years. So if someone would have told me 2.5 years ago that I would run, 6 full marathons, 7 half marathons, and lots of 5, 10Ks, I probably would have laughed out loud. Yes, you heard that right. I would have laughed and probably said something like, no way. Because I wasn't an athlete before. I really wasn't. I completely changed my life around to become an athlete, and I did it by being persistent, to put in the work, to not give up, and most importantly, I believed in myself. Because let me tell you, when I started out running and I signed up for a marathon and announced it, that I would run a marathon, and that was in my first year. So when I started running, I signed up for a 5K, and then I did a 10K, did the Chicago half marathon, and then in the fall, I wanted to run a marathon. I didn't get in the Chicago Marathon via lottery, so then I did a local one. It's called the DPR Marathon. I ran that. And when I announced that I would run that specific marathon, people were doubting. They were saying things like, do you even know how far a marathon is? That's crazy. I don't think you can do that. That's insane. Blah, 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 blah. Basically, sort of like putting me down. But guess what? I didn't listen to them. It fueled my fire even more because I wanted to prove them wrong. I wanted to prove them wrong, but also I wanted to show up for myself. I really wanted to show up for myself. And I knew when I started out that if I signed up for, the 5K, the 10K, and then trained for a half marathon and a full marathon, I would stay committed. I needed that for myself so that I paid all this money. There is no backing out. I got to follow the plan and train for it and become a better version of myself, because, starting out is always hard. I probably think, actually, it is. Starting out is the hard part because you have to set habits, you have to show up for yourself, and most people quit in that beginner phase because it's a lot of effort to make something into a habit and to show up for yourself every single day. Running your first mile is hard because your body's not used to it, but I'm telling you, if you don't give up, if you keep on going, you will build the endurance, and then eventually it'll just come naturally and it's easy for you to do. And then there's things like you can work on speed and things like that, but building endurance really just takes time. But once you get there, it becomes a part of you, and it's the most amazing feeling ever. But we'll talk about that later. So again, I am celebrating my 2-year running anniversary, and I wanted to talk about my journey. I wanted to talk about the 3 major marathons this year that I ran back-to-back, Berlin, Chicago, and New York, and I'll share which one was my favorite out of those 3. And also, I just want this to be uplifting, because I think once you get to know me better and hear my story, I want you to know that if I can do it, if I can become an athlete and marathoner, so can you. Don't let anyone tell you that you can't. Show up for yourself, become the best version of yourself, because you can. So we'll talk about that too, and I hope that by the end of this video, you are motivated to lace up, become healthy, become strong, and simply put, just become the best version of yourself. 4 full marathons, and wow. Yeah, just for me, really looking back, of this year, 2024. What a blessing. I got into Big Sur early in the spring through lottery. Big Sur, very challenging course, as you know. It's very hilly, lots of elevation, different elevation levels, but breathtaking views, right? You're at the western edge of the world. You're right by the ocean. I mean, very, very incredible. Fall, I did the 3 major marathons back to back. Again, Berlin, Chicago, and New York. And yeah, that's probably so far one of my proudest accomplishments. Because again, if I look back, the girl that I was just say 2.5 years ago, I would have never dreamt of coming this far. And I didn't even know I had the strength in me, to be honest, to do something like that, to run 3 of them back to back. Because, you know, like I said earlier, I wasn't an athlete before. So this is really quite the accomplishment for me. And I am darn proud of myself. I'm proud of this girl that showed up for herself and proved to herself that she's so much stronger than she ever thought. And Berlin was, so I started with Berlin, and Berlin was by far, and I'm wearing this shirt. I love this shirt so much. Berlin was epic. So it was, this year was their 50th anniversary, and I felt honored to run it. But also it was very emotional because I was born and raised in Germany. So to receive my first star in my motherland was very emotional and special. And after Berlin, you know, I got to see my brother and my mom, and just really, it was a great trip and something I will never ever forget. And Berlin was just, I mean, it's beautiful. I thought the course was gorgeous. You know, running through the Brandenburger Gate is epic, and you know, it's a historic landmark. It's absolutely beautiful. And like I said, because it's my motherland, I got my first star in my motherland. It was just very, very special to me and very emotional. So here's some pictures you can see of me running, and throughout the course, I was smiling the entire time. I don't think I didn't smile ever. I was just like smiling the entire time. The crowds were awesome. But my favorite part was the starting line. How it's so engaging, because like they have the music playing, and then, you know, you swing your arms, and like they want you to engage and swing your arms. Like you get really hyped up before you actually cross the start line, right? So I thought that was really amazing, because yeah, it's a special moment. You know, you're already nervous and anxious and whatnot, but they really got you really excited. So it really pumped me up. I really like that, because I have not experienced that atmosphere at a start line at the Chicago or New York City Marathon. So the start line in Berlin is probably unique, probably not just unique, but probably the best too, because like I said, it's very engaging, and you feel the energy from everyone at that moment. Like it just was pretty incredible. So loved it. And then Chicago, that was, you know, it was like 10 days later, and I think my body wasn't fully ready. And I ran the Chicago half, and I've done Shamrock, and Shamrock is, you know, like the first few miles, it's the same course as like the Chicago Marathon. So I felt like, for me personally, and since Chicago was my chosen home, I've lived it for like 19 years. I don't know what it was, but I don't know. I wasn't as excited, right? I wasn't as excited, but I still felt pretty grateful that I got to run it, because again, this is my home. Shy City forever. Like I love Chicago. So I wasn't as nervous at the start line, but once we got running, I was again in my element. Like I was laughing and smiling and just having a good time, because Chicago really showed up. Let me tell you, the crowds were amazing. The volunteers were amazing. It was epic. However, come mile 19, I had severe leg problems. So my right leg hurt really bad, especially my knee area. I could barely run, so I was limping at times. And there was one runner in particular, he was like, hey, what's going on? I was like, oh, I'm really hurting, because like I was limping, and he gave me some of his like energy candy, like these little gummies, and he said, here, take some, you know, hopefully that'll help you. And really appreciated that at that moment. But yeah, it was hard. I had to like walk run, and mostly, I don't know for how many miles, I don't even know, because I tried to at least jog, because I was like, I don't want to be super slow, but it was very, very painful. But I remember thinking too, you know, come mile 20, and I was in such pain. I kept saying, Vanessa, only 6 more miles. You can do this. You can do this. Do not give up. And I didn't. I kept running, and really fought through the pain. And when I finished, again, I cried. I cry, I think, at every finish. It really meant something that I fought through the pain and that I didn't give up, because I remember mile 23, I was like, I don't know if I can finish. I really had doubts in my head. Like, I didn't know if I could really finish, because the pain was something I never experienced. So yeah, and then I did finish, and I became a long distance finisher as well. So a long distance finisher is if you did the Shamrock, the half, and the Chicago Marathon in 1 year, you become a long distance finisher. And once you are, you will have guaranteed entry to the marathon next year. So I will run Chicago in 2025 again. And of course, I'm doing the long distance years again, because I plan on doing that forever, unless they take it away. But I want to run the Chicago Marathon every year, because this is my home. I love Chicago, and it's just special. It's really, really special. And now, last but not least, New York City Marathon. I don't even know where to start with New York City, because wow. wow is all I can say. Here's some pictures. Again, you can see the happiness in my face. I was smiling, dancing, laughing, crying. I mean, I had all the emotions while running on the course. It was epic. It was amazing. I don't even know where to start. I really don't know where to start, but I'm going to say it. The best marathon by far. I don't know what it is, but the crowds, if you've watched the video, I have the video here too on my channel, me running the New York City Marathon. Wow. The crowds, I mean, the crowds were literally carrying you through the finish line. That's how I felt. I didn't even feel like I was running a marathon, because the crowds were so amazing. The music, the cheers, I mean, it was out of this world. And just the views too. I mean, all these bridges that we ran, you know, the climb up and then the downhill. I mean, incredible, just incredible. So yes, this was one big party. And I kept saying this was my last marathon of the season. I would get my 3rd star in New York, and I kept saying, like, I heard all these amazing things about New York, and I knew for me this one was a party marathon. It was one that I wanted to soak in and have fun. I was not concerned about time whatsoever. I wanted to be in there and soak up the energy, talk to strangers, give high fives, and I did that. I had the best time, and I don't regret anything, because I really felt like I was present and soaked it all in. It was amazing. It was really amazing. So yes, my 2-year anniversary is very special, not only of all the marathons that I've ran in those 2 years, but I also became an RRCA certified running coach this year, which I'm very proud of, because again, running has changed my life. And what I really want to tell you is that running is so much more than just a sport, right? It has changed my life, and maybe you that are listening, you say the same thing. It has changed my life. But for those that are starting out, I can only say, go ahead and lace up. Start small. Have small goals. Don't go out and push hard right away. You know, jog, do a run walk, but get started, and I can promise you, you'll learn so much about yourself, because again, I never, ever, ever thought I am this strong. And you know, I became my own best friend. I keep saying this, but I really have. I became my own best friend because I believed in myself. I cheered myself on. I motivated myself when things got tough. I didn't rely on anyone else but myself. And that is something that I think we all need to learn, is that you can do hard things if you believe, and most importantly, if you put in the work. No one else can make your life better but yourself. No one else can get you through the finish line but yourself. And those are some very important life lessons that we all need to remember. In order to win, you need to believe in yourself, and you need to keep working towards a goal or work on yourself, whatever it is. You are responsible for yourself. And that's my story time. And if you're still interested, why don't you come with me for a quick shakeout run? I start marathon training in December, again, officially, since I'm running the London Marathon in April. But now that I have like three and a half weeks of no marathon training, it's not like I'm just gonna sit on the couch. Obviously, I'm working on strength training and I will still run, but I don't do like 18 milers, maybe like 5 miles and 3 miles. I will still obviously keep moving, but easier pace, nothing too crazy. So yeah, why don't you come and join me on a quick shakeout run, and I will see you next time. All right, I'm at my happy place, the trail. We're gonna go for a quick run. I'm wearing my New York City Marathon merch, decked out. I got the gloves on. It is a little cold. My hat, my jacket. So why don't you come along and follow me? Let's go.
You say it's hard to tell just what I'm thinking.
All right, now I'm gonna do a couple stretches here. We are done with my run. Thank you again so much for watching and listening to my story about my 2-year running anniversary. I am super grateful for your support and love that I've received within these 2 years. And yes, just a quick reminder, if I can do it, so can you. Go ahead, lace up, get out there, enjoy this beautiful world, the planet that we live in. You are stronger than you think. Don't let anyone tell you that you can't do anything. So let's do this. Thanks again for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video. Thanks again. Bye.
Wanna show you